Hey everyone, Ayana from Am.A-line Collections here. Tonight we are doing a Boss Babes conversation. We have all of our female entrepreneur business women with me, and we are all in the fashion industry. We've got two other designers. We have Shannon from Latris, and we've got Ashley from Splice Clothing. And we have the lovely Chelsea with us, who is a buyer style curator extraordinary adventurer from GotchaPacked. Thanks for being on, ladies. This is exciting.
Thanks for having us.
It is.
Yeah. So everybody gets a chance to know who you are. Each one of you can give a little tidbit about what you do, what your brand is, and your company, and where you're from. So whoever wants to start first, you can go.
I'll start, I guess. I'm Chelsea. I'm the founder of GotchaPacked. So GotchaPacked is a virtual styling service, essentially. And what we did originally was focus on styling around travel. So we really wanted to take the stress out of packing, which I know everyone hates, and kind of get people more focused on looking amazing, feeling comfortable while traveling. So essentially we put together curated outfits based on the style and activities of the destination. So if you're going to be going to Las Vegas, for instance, you're going to get a very different package than if you're going to be going to Alabama or, Thailand or Hawaii, whatever it's going to be. So we try to focus on the colors and patterns and styles of what you're going to see while you're there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
That sounds so cool. Sounds so fun.
It is so fun.
We'll have to use her services eventually.
You know what?
When travel comes back.
I think I'm assuming a lot of celebrities use that type of a service. I'm thinking.
I certainly hope so one day. Yeah, it's more. We're kind of in startup mode right now, but yeah, it's been really, really fun. Before COVID hit, just all the variety of destinations that we styled for is so fun. And then the box of outfits gets delivered to your door before you leave for vacation.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watch a lot of reality shows, and I see celebrities get packages before they vacation, or they'll get the items sent to the destination when they get there. But I never really understood who was doing those things, and now I know that it's you.
Yes.
and I can put the career with the service.
Exactly. Yep.
So Shannon, we will have you go next.
I'm excited about her job. I don't even want to talk about mine. I cut up fabrics and I make clothes out of them. That's pretty much how I feel.
You downscale so bad.
I am a fashion designer. I have what I call more so of a affordable luxury brand. And I design women's wear, from formal gowns, prom gowns, to wedding gowns, to just everyday clothing. And my favorite thing to do is definitely, like I said earlier, the casual clothing, because my goal is to see the everyday woman in my clothing on a daily basis. So that's what I like to do.
I love that. She's like, I'm going to keep it short and simple.
You know what? When you think about it, it's not, but then it kind of is. It's not physically simple, but explaining it is kind of, just simple.
Gotcha.
I be making clothes and stuff. That's gonna be my new bio.
Yeah.
Easy.
Ashley.
So for me, I too make clothes, but I design clothes, but the purpose of mine is a little specific. It's kind of closely tied to what Chelsea does, but I design the clothing that helps people pack light. So basically, in 2017, I quit my job and I traveled around the world for about 10 months, and I had a 50-pound backpack, and it was just so heavy. I just realized that was not a good way to travel, and I vowed to never travel that way again. And I just wanted a way to be able to still wear a lot of different things and travel light at the same time, because I knew that was going to be the easier way. So when I came home, I started designing reversible travel clothing, and that's what I'm doing today.
Awesome. I love it.
So when you say reversible travel clothing, like what do you mean by that?
So most things are actually like double-sided. So like this shirt is like red on one side. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's kind of like red on one side, black on the other. Or I have green and blue. We have pants that you can wear on two sides. And not only just the fabrics are two different colors, but a lot of items are, you can wear the necklines two different ways. So you can wear the V-neck in the front or the back. You know, we have a poncho wrap that you can wear as a wrap. You can wear the snaps on your shoulder in front of you, or you can wear it as a scarf. Just everything is multi-purpose, very versatile, and lightweight at the same time.
Yeah. I have a few of her stuff, and I love her pieces. They are super, super comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
They look comfortable from the top you have them. That's a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea.
I mean, the hardest part is definitely finding the fabrics. Like the idea of having something reversible isn't that crazy, but to actually like make the construction so like all the seams are hidden, and to find the actual fabrics that are, you know, comfortable and lightweight and functional for traveling and are reversible, that is definitely the hardest part. But I like to think it's a cool concept.
If you would see her on the show floor looking for a manufacturer of fabric, like girlfriend is going through.
Long days, long days.
I've definitely, seen the reversible clothing growing up, but it just dawned on me, you can literally pack probably 4 or 5 pieces, and all hotels have like washing machines and stuff. You can literally just throw it in the washer and have like 4 outfits become 8 outfits easily.
Exactly.
And I guess, so that's a brilliant idea. Girl.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Y'all are rocking and rolling over here. I don't know. I just do menswear, so there's that.
Which is way harder than women's wear.
I mean, in some ways. More so,
in a lot of
probably
ways.
My challenges as being a female menswear designer is that when I go to approach these stores, they're like, what is this brand? I haven't heard of it. Well, one, it's a new brand, but yeah, I'm the designer. And I'm sure they go to the site and they're like, oh, but it's a woman. Who knows what they actually think? But, yeah.
I was so excited when I found Ayana.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's just so hard to find menswear that's like unique and, locally made. I don't know. I think it's awesome. Yeah. And designed by women. I love that.
Yeah.
So when I found you, I was pretty excited.
Yeah, because Ashley was amazing. But go ahead, Ashley.
How you guys look on my screen, so I'm just like linking you together.
Yeah, y'all are linked together on my screen too.
Okay, you're together. I was going to say, I think the hardest part probably about designing menswear is that like you're not a man. So at least like when I get my samples in, I can try it on. I request medium samples and I'm like, okay, this is, it doesn't fit like this. I'm kind of my own fit model, but you don't have all the boy parts. You don't have the boy shoulders. You don't have this and that.
Yes.
So I mean, that part I would guess is like even the hardest part too, because you can't rely on yourself to be your own mannequin. I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot. And even my dress form, like I can't rely on my dress form because, it doesn't move. It doesn't have real shoulders, And yeah, you can't get a consistent male fit model. At least I can't. Everybody's like, oh yeah, well, I can't. I'm busy or something. I'm like, okay, well, I'll find somebody. It'll be fine.
Can I ask you guys, when I'm ordering inventory from different vendors and different designers, it's so hard because all of the sizing is so different, and some brands run big, some brands run small. It's like, is there not a standard size that you can go off of? It just kind of depends. Okay. See, I don't even know. I wish I had more of a background in actual fashion design.
It should be universal. Like that would make it easier for like the entire world, like shoe sizes or something. Why is it a size 8 always X amount of centimeters or whatever it is? I don't know why it isn't like that. It really depends on A, the designer, depending on how you're designing something, and B, your manufacturer too. Like my manufacturers in China are going to have a different idea of what a small is than manufacturers maybe in Egypt or, India or Kenya or anywhere, or USA. And even so, I have to think about that too when I'm getting my stuff made in China, because people in China are a little bit smaller typically. So sometimes their size small is really going to be my size extra small. So
Yeah. I recognize that green color. Is that one of your
Yeah.
nice.
I was like,
Yes.
I'm gonna wear this today.
I love
have
that.
to
I was like, I think that's the
you're
same
your best
shirt.
self.
Hey, no, trust me. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna make this ladies capsule of it.
Actually, are those your crop tops behind you?
Yes, I have my crop tops.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How are they doing?
Good. I sold a couple, and I definitely had a lot of people that were interested. So just kind of waiting to see how it does. Definitely gonna have, now's a weird time because, like, I don't know, even when we talk, me and Ayana have the same consultant. That's why we know each other. So when she talks, like, she tells us, like, oh, this is a slow time. Everybody's waiting for, like Black Friday and holiday time and buying stuff for holiday pictures and whatever. So now seems like to be that in-between time between when people are actually, like, buying a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Shan experiences the same thing you do.
Oh, I can't really say. I guess so in a way. I feel like I struggle all the time. So that's why I can't really answer the question. I feel like I struggle all the time when it comes to getting the collection out there and stuff like that. So I can't even give you a truthful, answer to that, but I'm pretty sure she's correct.
Yeah.
It all just runs together to me.
Yeah.
It all just rolls together.
Yeah, it all just runs together because I feel like people just shop out of season these days. They don't care. Like, a lot of people still have summer stuff up all year round and people dress like that and they don't care. Like, I know people wear those crop tops like with 50-degree weather, But at least down here. So yeah, everything kind of just runs together. I don't know. I just I'm a struggling entrepreneur 365.
I was going to say for my service, I appreciate when designers and different brands have like seasonal wear available all the time because it could be, someone could be going to Hawaii and it could be like, 80 degrees there when it's winter here or whatever. So sometimes it's really, really hard to find warmer weather clothes for people that are leaving when it's cold out where they are from,
That makes sense then, because I was wondering, like, how is it that I'm focusing so much on putting out a fall collection and everyone else still have like warmer clothes and people are like buying it. And so I've kind of gotten to the same point where I'll have something that's sleeveless still up on my website and it still sells. So that's what I kind of think about. Everything just runs together. Even right now, I'm working on a holiday collection, so it's a lot of sequin. And I was like, well, I'm kind of late, and if it doesn't sell, what am I going to do? But honestly, people wear that type of stuff at any point.
Around. Yeah.
Wedding. I actually just decided to, first of all, I'm battling this weird sunlight, so don't mind me. But second of all, I just decided this weekend, I'm trying to dodge it.
There you go.
I just decided that I'm like changing to seasonless. I'm not following fall and spring. First of all, because it doesn't make sense for travel. Just like Chelsea explained, like I live somewhere where it's winter in the northern hemisphere at in this part of the year. But if I'm sending something to Australia, they're having spring and summer right now, or about to. So it doesn't make sense for me to have seasons. I'd rather just have an assortment of things available all the time, or just like come out with new things like a little bit more sporadically, but not entire collections. And I think that will make a lot more sense for my business model. But I know me and Ayana have the same consultant and she is not a fan of that. But sometimes you have to just realize that your business model is different than what she is giving advice for. And I think that's one of those moments where I'm deciding to not take her advice and just go and do something that makes more sense for my business.
Yep.
Yeah, times have changed, Times have definitely changed. So, maybe you doing that now is maybe her advice is befitting of, the rules that were. But these days people don't care. Like, girls just want to be cute. They will walk out there with their crop top on into whatever event they're going in. They don't care about a coat. They want to show off their cute crop top. Like, I didn't realize that for a long time.
All the time. If they were open right now, people would still be wearing mini skirts and like tube tops in January. So I mean,
that's the thing. You can pair a mini skirt with like a tall boot, or you know what I mean, and then just dress in layers. So it is nice when all of that stuff is available.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's usually like really cute thin layers. I'm usually out in a big gigantic coat trying to stay warm, but other girls are like, you know, in thin like cardigans and stuff. It looks layered and it looks fall, but I'm like, I know you're cold. You're very cute, but I know you're cold. So
yeah.
And then
I look at some of the younger girls, like, you know, walking around just like freezing in the heels and the small dresses, and I'm like, I remember those days, you know.
Oh yeah.
But past that now.
So Ashley, are you like sewing all of your orders yourself, or are you like, I guess, contracting out?
Yeah, so I have all my inventory already manufactured, so it's just here waiting to be purchased. But the only thing that I do sew is my crop tops. So they're actually one of my items, the one I'm wearing is a tunic. So if I get an order for a crop top, then I take the tunic and I make it into a crop top. So I do sew that. I do know how to sew. I'm a self-taught seamstress. I made all my own prom dresses in high school. I made bridesmaid dresses. I actually wanted to be like an evening gown, wedding gown designer, like kind of like the stuff that you do a little bit. But I don't know. I just didn't like follow that like right after school. And so then after, I was so scared to start my own business. And then when I quit my job to travel the world, that's kind of the easiest way to start something new. So that's what led me to this.
I love your life.
What did you do before you traveled the world?
Had a whole different life. What I did immediately before is I worked for the local power company in renewable energy. But what they did to me is I had a job I really loved. I worked at the hotels in retail buying. So I've been on both sides. I've been a buyer, and I do designing and trying to sell my line as a brand. So I used to be an assistant buyer, and I really loved my job, but it's a small department, so there was no growth there. So one of the things I studied in college was renewable energy. So I got a job at the power company, and I worked there for a few years. And the last couple of months, they switched me over to contracts, and they just kind of restructured our whole department. And I was doing contracts for like coal plants and natural gas, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to work on like solar, and I used to do such cool things. I was working with like building up the infrastructure for electric vehicles in the state, you know, like with charging stations, like something completely different than what I'm doing now. And I just didn't like it anymore. So it took me months, but I convinced my boyfriend that we had to quit our jobs because we weren't ever going to travel like that again. And then finally I convinced him and we left. We didn't really have a plan for when we came back, but we knew we'd be fine.
That's
Sometimes
so cool.
No planning is perfect.
Yeah, it's the best way.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
So I have a question for y'all. For you, I don't know, whoever wants to start this time is fine. I mean, Chelsea started, so we can always go in that round. What challenges have you had when you started your company? And, you know, I know you're all like feminine power too, so as a woman, and then also during COVID, what has been your like?
Yes. Oh my gosh, where to start?
That's the question.
No, I think. Well, I guess starting out, I think it's a very niche market for me. Starting out as like a stylist, but specific for travel. In my opinion, I didn't see it that way, but everybody I talked to, all of the advisors, everybody said that. And it just kind of like felt like a bad thing. I was just like, oh, I guess I need to, you know, broaden my horizons or whatever. But I just wanted to like, you know, stay true to the vision and everything. So that was really tricky first starting out, was like listening to everybody's advice or staying true to your vision. So, and I still struggle with that for sure. But I know there's so many style boxes out there, like all, you know, Stitch Fix and Trunk Club and everything. But it's like, I was like, it's just everyday wear. It's like, and it's just a few things that, and a lot of it doesn't even go together. It's not like people are getting full outfits and geared towards like all these cool, unique destinations and the variety of things that they can get from us. So I just thought it was like a one-of-a-kind service and one-of-a-kind products. And then A huge challenge as well was staying true to my values, which I really care about sustainability. Like Ashley just brought up, I think that that's so cool, sustainable energy and all of that. And then like small women-owned businesses, I really wanted to work with fair trade stuff as much as possible. So like having all of those kind of ethical elements in there was really important to me. So finding quality stuff that like is kind of can work with my business model was just tricky to find the right vendors and find stuff that would work. So that was a huge challenge. And then I guess as a woman, luckily I haven't faced a lot of issues. I would say a few like comments here and there. I think when I started, I had a male mentor that was this old white man and like definitely asked for like a kiss for his services, for like, oh yeah, for like helping me in return. Oh yeah. So like had to drop him as a mentor. And then this other guy, he was going to be like a consultant, and he was actually going to invest equity into my company for like in exchange for his services. And he, I remember so distinctly, I was so turned off by this, but he was like, you know, are you planning on starting a family or having babies anytime soon? Because I don't really see your company going well or like taking off if you're going to also have a family, because women can't really do both. Yeah. And again, older white man, I was just like, okay, do you ask your male clients this? Like, I was just, you know, is that a question that, you know, comes up for them? It's just, yeah. So stuff like that can be really hard and, you know, easy for me to, what'd you say?
That's really upsetting. Like
It is. And it is. And it sucks that like, I feel like as women, our opportunities aren't, as great as like a male entrepreneur, because I think you do always have to worry about that. It's always in the back of your mind, all these Me Too stories of like, oh, is he gonna come on to me because, you know, in exchange for like his advice or his connections or whatever. So I'm very hyper aware of that now, having had those experiences. So that was pretty unfortunate, but obviously those men aren't in my life anymore, so that's good.
Yes, that's
they're lost. Yeah. And then I would say with COVID, obviously, you know, being a travel-based company, that sucked. I mean, you know, really launching full on this second year and then that hitting and just having to really, you know, like I said in the beginning, like stray a little bit from the vision and just be open now to whatever kind of happens. Like, and it's been okay. I mean, a lot of orders have been like work boxes where people just need like new work attire for their new jobs, or they're traveling for work, or they just want like everyday styling services. We do that too. You know, we've done maternity boxes that we didn't foresee happening. So, so like, just being open to seeing where it goes and what the customers need. But hopefully travel still opens back up internationally at least.
It will. Soon.
Yes.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to follow up to Chelsea's because I feel like we had very similar challenges just because we're in really similar niche markets. Even though I've been working on my brand for 2 years now, I just launched in January. And then, of course, not only did COVID affect my manufacturing and Ayana's too, I know, but it also affected, you know, my timelines, logistics, everything. So, and sales, most importantly. So I did a pre-sale in January. I should have received all my manufactured goods in February, maybe March. And then March, all of my pre-sale orders were supposed to go out. But of course, March is when COVID hit. But COVID was already, you know, affecting Asia before that. So all my manufacturing, all my factories were closed. It was even hard to get in touch with them to even know what was going on. So finally, when I got stuff, of course, all my orders went out late. And by then no one could travel. And everybody was like, what the heck is going on? And then that stalled all of, potential orders over the summer. So it's been really hard to just grow it. And same as Chelsea said too, it's been kind of hard to stay on the same mission that I started with. A lot of people are like, you have to pivot, you have to just do loungewear, you have to just say it's for this, you have to say it's really comfortable to wear at home. And I think about it all the time, and I'm like, but then that doesn't make sense for my story. Like, my story is so ingrained in my product and my why that it wouldn't make sense to be like, oh, I went backpacking and my backpack was really big, so then I made this comfy stuff you can wear on the couch. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So
right.
even though everyone was like, you have to change, I was like, I can't, like, this isn't forever. Travel will pick up. People are still like, look at everybody's still going on road trips. People are camping more. People are still flying, now. So it's not that travel stopped. It's just slowed. And I know people are going to, I feel that people are going to like want to just break out as soon as they're able to. All their trips that were canceled in 2020, they're going to be in full force in 2021 or whenever they're able to. So I just know it's like a temporary slow, and I'm trying not to let that get me down. But that's just been the hardest part. And luckily I haven't had any like extremely traumatic experiences like Chelsea brought up. Like that is just insane to me that even happens still. I just think, like, for me, this is like a kind of a cop-out answer, but as a woman, I feel like the hardest part is just being more emotional with like answers. I don't know if that's a thing, but I know that the first person that I ever sent my line sheet to was this store, and the guy was really nice. But the very first feedback I ever got on my line from a store was that the colors are uninspiring, and it was something like that. Like, your line and the colors are uninspired. And I was just like, I was trying to hold it in, but as soon as I like read it out to my boyfriend, I just started crying because I was like, what am I working for? The first person who ever saw it told me it's uninspiring. If I send it to all these other people, what are they going to say? And it's just really, it's kind of hard to take criticism. Like, it's definitely like a learned skill, I think, to take it in and either realize it's not for somebody and it's for somebody else, or to internalize that and turn that into something that makes your business better. But that, I would say, is hard. Is just taking, kind of harsh feedback like that. But it's what helps you grow and helps you find your niche and helps you find the people that are your tribe and whatever. And that's what I'm really grateful for, is that if you quit the first time you show somebody something, you'll never make it. So that's my answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Love that.
Agreed.
It's not for everybody, but it's like, you can't please everybody, like some people are going to love it.
And some people aren't.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep. It's not meant for everybody. Shannon knows.
Don't I?
So what about you?
My turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go next.
Oh, you want me to go? I can go first. That's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go, Ayana, go.
So yeah, Ashley just mentioned the whole manufacturing and shipping thing. Yeah, as some of y'all know, I waited for these shirts for like 6 months, and I fought with them to have like it shipped here. Yeah. So, and also I have inventory in my apartment that I'm just trying to get rid of. So it's definitely sales is a challenge. I mean, especially as a creative, you're like trying to push your stuff on people, and that's not necessarily my background. So that's one of my challenges I really have. But yeah, speaking as a woman, so of course, I'm doing menswear. I've been trying to do custom clothing for a while. After I graduated school, that's what I kind of went right into, and then tried to like get in with some other people who like needed the service. And like one guy I was talking to, like trying to like work with. At one point, he like had hit on me at some point, and he was like, see, I was like, yeah, I just don't pay attention to this stuff. Like, it's weird because he was married too. And I'm like, bro, like, ew. Like, I'm 22, I'm not interested. Can you go away? I'm like fitting him to this test piece, because he like tested me, and I was like, okay, yeah. But like, I don't know. You get random stuff here and there. I mean, I haven't had so much in fashion. I've had more in like the funeral industry from different people. Like if I'm driving a hearse or a limo, people are like, oh, be careful, don't back up or watch yourself. I'm like, dude, I do this every day. And then they'll be like, oh, I was so impressed how you were just, I'm like, I know how to drive.
Okay. Not to cut you off, but I thought you were saying that you didn't get like hit on so much in fashion, that you were getting hit on like.
Oh,
that's
what I thought initially. I was like, who would do that?
Yeah, no. Well, you get hit on both.
My head completely dropped. Like, what? How are you mourning and trying to mac at the same time?
Yeah.
People do. Oh, it's terrible. But yeah, like, I don't know. So every time like I do a suit, if I do a custom suit for somebody, then I like have to watch myself like, all right, hopefully y'all aren't weird. And like, if I have to measure your pants and get your inseam, I'm like, here, you can just take care of that because we're not. Yeah. Other than that, of course, COVID has messed up everything. I mean, things are getting better, but like Ashley mentioned about calling stores and everything, while I was stuck at home, I literally didn't have the time to call anybody, but a lot of the stores were closed that I was looking at. And then this past week, I've been trying to call back stores and like sell stuff. And then a couple of them, I found out they're even closed or temporarily closed, or they have these weird hours where they're only open like Friday and Saturday. And that's it. That's it. So,
sorry.
Yeah, it's really odd, but or they don't answer emails. I'm fine with the criticism. Like if you just give me a no, okay, I can move on. I can move on from you. Don't leave me hanging. Don't not give me an answer. But my worst situation I had,
sorry,
it's okay, was when I went to a local shop here in Cincinnati, and like 2 days later, I got, it's not our style. And I was like, you literally have basically the same style in the store. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Moving on.
Try again next time.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. So that's about where I'm at.
So I have questions here. Or am I supposed to just talk about me now?
No, you can go. You can do whatever.
Okay. So I know you mentioned that you were kind of like when it came to getting rid of the inventory and the selling, I guess, area, you kind of seemed kind of like that was an issue. But Ashley, you seem kind of like it's not so much of an issue for you. So I guess with you guys having the same consultant, is it like, no, okay.
No, you can go ahead and ask the question.
I don't know what the question was.
Maybe do you think the difference is, I guess my question is, what are you guys doing as far as marketing to get the collection out there for it to sell? Like, are you doing like, and I know you mentioned that you don't really know something about, or particularly in Ayana, but you didn't go into details. So I was just wondering where you're referring to marketing. And I would like to know what you're doing as far as marketing, Ashley.
Yeah.
So marketing is by far the most important thing that you can do for your business. My degree's in entrepreneurship, so like I wish I would have paid more attention to that when I went to school, because it is truer than true. I didn't put as much emphasis on it before I actually had my items, but now that I have them and I paid for them and I'd want to get them sold, I do like whatever I can. So one of the best things I've done, well, there's a couple things. I have an affiliate program. So I have, even though, again, this is something our consultant doesn't like, I don't even know why I listen to her sometimes, because I don't listen to her advice. But she doesn't like affiliate programs. She doesn't like influencers. But the fact is, like, if your market is where they are, then you should utilize that. So I have some.
That's where it's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. That's like 100% where it's going. People would much rather listen to a real person that is like giving hands-on, testimonials rather than like, I don't know, anything else, I guess.
And it makes a lot of sense for the travel niche, because people are traveling and they're wearing it and they're like, oh, this really worked for me when I went on this trip. It's not just like wearing something every day. It kind of has like a little bit more of a purpose, I guess, when it has like, you're wearing it because you want to pack light, I guess, or if you want to look good while you pack light, blah, blah, blah. So it has like a special emphasis when people that are actually traveling all the time are wearing it and putting it on their Instagram, writing reviews for me. I also have an email list that I'm growing, and that has like paid off. And the biggest thing that I did recently is I got in touch with this person who she used to have this Facebook community, but she recently took it off Facebook. So now she has her own like website, but it's still like a Facebook group. So she has all these people that like listen to her advice. She has guest speakers all the time. And I got on her little live show, and she put me on her email list, and she's one of my affiliates. And one day I woke up and I had as many sales that morning as I usually do in a month. And it's just because she sent out my link to her email followers. I don't know how big her list is, but it must be pretty big, because only, usually like 1% of people convert. So I just woke up that morning and I had a ton of sales from that one thing. So now I'm trying to do more stuff like that. I have an intern, so I have her like trying to find more like PR opportunities for me. We're trying to find like gift guides and things like that to get on for winter or for the holiday season. And going into 2021, we're just gonna go like really hard on the marketing front. I'm trying to play with some Facebook ads right now, because I think that's going to be really big, starting to like retarget my audience. But yeah, it's just about getting it in front of more eyes. Like the more you can do to like expose new people to your stuff, like, the better off you'll be.
Yep.
Yeah. I just have to ask, because that's kind of where I am. I'm learning right now that marketing is everything. And so I've been trying more to get my stuff on people who are more so known and more so, I guess, influential with their style. But I'm also thinking about doing like ambassadors. I'm assuming that affiliates and ambassadors are kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, because I was like, I think we're all kind of like in the same boat as far as probably more so me and Ayana. You sound like you got your stuff together.
No, I'm still learning.
Okay.
No, but yeah, so I've been working with a gentleman here who runs a business hospital. Chelsea knows him. And like, so as a creative, he's explained we like to look at marketing more than we look at sales, and they can be two totally separate things. So like my marketing, sure, I've got ads going out, I've got all these posts going out, I've got emails to the few people I do have subscribed on my list. I'm constantly doing research for it. But I'm not necessarily hitting the marks to sell.
Exactly. Same.
But I'm marketing.
Same.
Right.
And I feel like I just do everything I can, but I just don't see the results that I would like to see.
Are you showing your product as like a solution to something? Like, are you saying like, if you get this product, this will happen to you? Like, is it like going to make your life better anyway? Like, is it going to make you feel more confident? Are you going to like have an extra strut in your step or something? Like, you have to pose it as like this, you have to have this thing because it's going to change your life. Even if it sounds drastic, like that's how you have to like position it. And it sounds like crazy, but that's the only way that people respond, it seems like.
And which our consultant also does not like us to say. We can get two totally different pieces of advice and ask the same question.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
We've done this experiment before.
Which part doesn't she like?
I was going to say, adding with like COVID struggles, I think for me, like some of the biggest like marketing tools or whatever have been, unfortunately, like in-person events. And like when I'm able to talk one-on-one to people and like tell them about the company, I think people can see your passion for your product and your service. And that, I mean, I've gotten so many customers that way, people are like, oh, that sounds so cool. And that has worked better for me personally than anything else. So not having that opportunity anymore, like having, in-person events and stuff has been really hard. Unfortunately, I did go to one on Saturday. It was one of my friends. She just launched a company for importing Spanish wine and selling that. And so she had like a wine tasting like party lunch, and I had styled her and her employee and then her employee's boyfriend and her mom.
Oh,
so
wow.
Everyone that was running the event was wearing my outfits. And so they were talking about GotchaPacked all night. And I was like, so being able to like chat with people that were there was huge for me. So I think, I don't know, that's worked better than some of the marketing tools that I've tried. So I don't know how you guys feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to do that more.
Well-
I have to figure out where that would be for me.
Yeah.
I'll just travel and just talk to people in the airport.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much.
Meet fellow travelers.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
exactly.
that's really cute. Oh yeah, thanks. I designed it and it's on my website.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Look at my
slip it in there in between the seat and just drop it.
Exactly.
Yep.
I love that.
I guess
See,
it's,
Shan didn't share her thing yet. Her,
I know. See,
Yeah,
she's like, oh yeah.
yeah, I was getting off into, you guys lives and stuff because it's so interesting. So I just had questions. Because I could I see myself in you guys when you speak. I was like, oh, I can definitely relate to that. So I just had a couple of questions, but what was the question? Oh, it was about the struggles and getting into the industry and starting out and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I just find you guys to be a lot more interested than I am, I guess. But
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you.
Definitely starting out, I may have mentioned this to you before, Ayana, but the most difficult thing for me as a designer was graduating and realizing that knowing how to make a good garment was only like 10% of what it takes to be a designer.
Yeah.
And like the other 90% is the business and the marketing.
Yep.
And we weren't really pushed to double major in business or anything like that. They didn't really push us to minor in things like that. I think maybe Dr. Kuntz told me one time I should minor in business, but I'm the type of person you have to tell me why I should do it and then tell me at least one more time to do it for me to understand, like, you're going to need this down the line. And so I didn't do it. So I've been kind of realizing that it just takes a lot. You're really an entrepreneur. So you're doing the taxes, the bookkeeping, the trying to get into stores, the marketing. And I don't have a degree in any of those things. And so I'm having to rely on reaching out to, ask people for advice. And then I think like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But then I talk to designers like you, and you guys are saying pretty much we're all doing the same thing. And it's like, okay, so I guess I'm on the right track. We're all kind of, in sync as far as our ideas and what we, or even if we're not doing, at least it's things that we want to do,
Yeah.
But that was definitely the biggest struggle. That's why I tell everyone who is an artist, like, don't focus so much on being a good artist. You have to know your business too.
That is so true. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I don't care how
why
amazing
they
you
don't
are.
teach that more. I majored in interior design and fashion as well. It was kind of like a dual program.
Yep.
And same thing with interior design. You have to I wish they would like tell you more about the prospects after you graduate of what you can actually do with this degree, because a lot of it is just running your own business and super tough.
It takes a lot of time just mastering and getting good enough at what you do to offer it as a service. And you mean now I got to turn around and run the whole business? So it's like, I didn't know that. And
I went to school and they don't teach you how to run a business. They teach you a lot of facets of business, but you don't really know how to do it until you do it. Like, it's one of those things that you have to learn while doing. So
that makes me feel better.
Maybe there should be a crash course, like, here's all the things, all the steps to run your business. Or maybe a consultant should offer that service, like a very in-depth, like all the things of your business specifically.
Yeah, so that made me feel a lot better, because it made me feel like I just missed out on something. But I was even talking to my doctor, went in for my yearly checkup, and I was talking to him about it. And he was like, he went through the same thing as a doctor. Like, now you got bookkeeping in the doctor's office, you got all the business, like all of that. And I was like, dang, you don't really realize that everything is business,
Mm-hmm.
Every major should have like a business minor, because technically you can, I mean, even if you're like a nutritionist, you can like have your own business doing that or whatever it is,
And it needs to be business, not even just a general business, but business like just
of fashion or
specifically of that. Yes, because it's all different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do have other friends who are business owners, but they can't really give me advice because they don't know fashion business. Yeah. So that could make a very, very successful, talented designer. Or
let's
artist.
write a book.
Exactly.
Let's write a book.
Yes, let's write a book, y'all. Let's write one.
So,
chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just, I think it'd be so helpful to just do these little like tutorials or like lessons learned on marketing, lessons learned on bookkeeping, all of that.
Angle for sure.
Yeah.
And then as a woman, I can't really say I've had any creepy guy. Well, maybe once, but it wasn't like serious. So I won't even bring that up. But except for the fact that I knew his daughter because I went to high school with her. Okay, we're going there. He was in a certain profession around my city, and I needed his services. And so he offered me, I guess, to fully invest in my business, but I basically do the work, like half and half. But he wasn't so direct, like, the guy was with you, Chelsea, but he was kind of like flirtatious, and it just felt weird because it's like, dude, like, I went to high school with your daughter. But he didn't know I knew her, but I still was kind of creeped out by it. And I was like, yeah, I'll pass. I will bootstrap this company from the ground up with no issues. I don't need your money. But my biggest hang up, and I was actually just talking to another designer about this, being a woman in an industry, I think Chelsea mentioned that kind of like guys typically get more support than the women, or somebody mentioned that. And I think that's very true. Very, very true. And I find that in this industry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like the guys in the industry kind of click up and look out for each other when it comes to opportunity and networking and things like that. And they really, really look out for each other. And they kind of, in my experience, they kind of leave the girls out. But then the girls, when you try to network, luckily all you guys are nice. But when you try to meet other women in the industry, I don't know if it's because they know only so many can, I guess, get in that position at a time, but they're usually not very welcoming. They're not very friendly. So that's not that. It seems minor, but what was that?
Can it feel competitive a little bit?
You know what? I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not coming to you with a competitive energy, but they kind of automatically assume that because we're like that from the kindergarten on up. Like if our hair bow is prettier than Susan's, or if Susan thinks that her lunch bag is cuter, like we're just naturally like that. Well, I'm not gonna say we're naturally like that because I'm not like that. Yeah. But you gotta get that energy, and so I kind of just end up kind of just staying to myself. But it's hard to network because you really do need you need people, even if it's just sit down and talk like this and, just see what each other you're dealing with and bounce ideas off of each other or whatever. So I don't like that. That's the only thing I deal with as a woman. It's kind of like the guys are kind of like blah, and then the girls are like blah too. So you're just like, no.
I don't know what the statistic is, but if you are looking for investors, like it is the percentage of women getting investors versus male business owners is like so sad. I mean, I think women business owners get like 1% of like the investments that are out there if you're looking for venture capitalists or angel investors or whatever. So it's a little hard to be taken seriously, I guess, as a woman. Sometimes they just assume that, you can't do it all,
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, that seems pretty minor, but it's just frustrating because it's hard to make friends in the industry like that. And as far as COVID, for me, my biggest struggle was I wanted to put out a second collection, and I needed to work on my marketing and stuff like that, but we couldn't do photo shoots because nobody wants to get a group of models together. And this was like back in March, April, when it was really like, what's happening? What is this? We don't even know what's going on with this. So I couldn't do any type of photo shoots, no videos, no nothing. Everything just went down, and it sucked for me because I just put out the houndstooth collection, and I kind of wanted to ride on the wheels of that, and I really didn't get the chance to, before going into the next collection. So COVID, I mean, I guess it wasn't a major setback for me, but it definitely messed up my marketing plan.
Yeah.
As far as content for the marketing.
Yeah. No, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Ayana, this is so off subject, but I felt honestly initially in our fashion program, I got like the same energy. Like,
oh, for sure. There were a couple people that were like really cool and whatever, but I think also it depended on like sorority life / not sorority life. A lot of that. Because there were a couple really cool, co-students, whatever, classmates that we had, and we all got along, but then you had the few that were like,
over here, and I was like,
that's like over here.
I was like, I'm a really nice girl. What's going on?
Yeah.
They were not having it. But eventually, I think once everybody got to know everybody, it kind of worked out. But initially, it was like, very mean girl.
Oh, that's too bad. That makes no sense to me. Like, why don't we all support each other more? It's like everyone is going through the same stuff, and it's can be really lonely. It's like so much nicer to have a community that you can rely on,
And especially as women, because we're already like down here anyway. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, let's come together.
Yeah, like guys are already they're trying to hook up with us and not taking us serious in business, or they're trying to just push us out and silence us and not want us to sit at the table and speak up, and they kind of just want us to just, be to the wayside.
Look pretty.
When
just
it comes to
look pretty.
Like, exactly. So when it comes to women, I just hate when we do that with each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. It makes me really sad when I see that.
Very.
It's bad. Yeah. All right. So last question for you all, because I know we spent a lot of time on that one. What are you looking forward to for next year? We can start with Ashley.
I'm just excited for travel to open back up more, because I think that is the key to mine and Chelsea's business, at least. And I'm excited to travel myself. I've had like 3 trips canceled, so I want to go somewhere. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just growing the business and just getting it out there, because I honestly think that my product helps people, and that's what I want to do. I know that I had a problem, so I wanted to make something to fix my problem, and therefore I know that if people have a similar problem, that it could fix theirs too. So I just want to keep getting it out there, grow the business, and hopefully just keep expanding and come out with some new stuff in the beginning of the year, and just hope for a better year than 2020.
Anything could be better than this. You can only go up from here, really.
Yeah, exactly. We started from the bottom, so
literally. Shannon.
I am looking forward to just studying more, learning more about business and marketing. Like I said, I pretty much just read now at least once a week.
Awesome.
Shan, have you heard of that platform Coursera? I think it is. You can like take all kinds of classes from all these universities all over the world, and there's like tons of stuff on marketing and business and everything. So when things were slow with GotchaPacked, that's what I was doing too, and it was really, really helpful.
Oh, great! Thank you so much. I will definitely appreciate that. But I kind of just been YouTubing it, so at least that would give me some structure for me to know exactly that, to know that I'm studying the right things. So that would be great. But I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to getting better marketing. My goal is to hopefully get into an actual store, at least one store. That's very hard to do, and building a team.
Yeah,
kind of getting more help.
Building a team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Chelsea.
You know what?
Yes.
Building a team, we know the struggles. Starting it.
Yeah, it's tricky. I forget what the question was.
What are you looking forward to?
Oh, what I'm excited about. Yeah. I mean, like I said, with travel kind of being slower, and just seeing the business evolve into having these other style boxes available, I'm excited to kind of see where that goes and see it evolve. I've had a lot of suggestions on starting a subscription model and having it be just like, 4 boxes people can get for each season. So just 4 times a year, yearly subscription, and for locals at least. So kind of playing around with that idea and seeing how that goes.
Awesome. I like that. Well, I guess I have to answer now. I am looking forward to, so like Ashley said, I didn't get to travel this year. I was planning to possibly go to Portugal for a trade show. Like that, I was like, I'm gonna go to one country somewhere. Use the trade show as my like excuse to go. So yeah, if travel could open up, that would be great. I'm looking forward to next fall, but I'm also looking forward to getting spring 22. Like it's crazy that we have to think about this spring 22 stuff ready. Because it actually should have been for this year or next year, because the inspiration is awakening, and that's kind of where we're all at right now. But I'm excited to get next fall out. It's just a matter of stores waking up and opening up, not closing, and just kind of getting out there in general. Like being able to be social again, that would be nice. Instead of being stuck all the time in the house, you know? So
yeah.
It's pretty much what I'm looking forward to. And just, you know, keeping creative juices flowing, because that's always a thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think you guys should all come to Vegas. I don't know, just a
Agreed.
suggestion.
Yes.
I'll be there. We can go get some great food. Y'all, she knows all the spots.
I do.
I would love that.
I know all the food.
I want like a desert trip. I've like never been out west besides California. I've never been like Utah, Nevada, you know, like the heart of the desert kind of stuff. And it's like on my bucket list. Just got to do it.
It's really pretty. It's definitely a different, you know, it's not like a lot of regular trees. It's definitely different, but it's really, really pretty. I like to argue we have the best sunsets in the country. So you got to come and visit.
Yeah.
And as she tells me, you can see the mountains from all sides. Like literally, you just 360.
Yeah. Fun fact: Nevada is the only state that you can see a mountain no matter where you look. We're especially in Vegas. We're in a valley, so you can see a mountain. Like you're surrounded by mountains.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like COVID too. I mean, it's with everyone working from home, and like, you know, we can kind of move anywhere now, you know, so we've been talking about that. I mean, all of our family is here, so that would be tough, but it's kind of like, should we do this now that we have the opportunity, or
Or you're like me and you move a year before it hits. No, actually, technically it would have only been like 6 months before it hit, but
Before COVID hit?
Yeah, I moved here in September of last year, and I was back and forth between home until like February. And then February, I went to Vegas, and then I went to New York. And then after I came back, I went back to Virginia, and then I got stuck in Virginia for 5 months. So I literally had only lived here about 6 months before COVID hit.
I just remember not in your home state.
Yeah.
I remember you moved to Cincinnati that was like a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Dating it for a while before.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Chelsea, you're originally from Cincinnati?
I am. And then I went to school in Columbus. So, I mean, just still Ohio. The only thing I've done, I've lived in West Africa for a few years. And that was with the Peace Corps. And then, and then moved home. So it's kind of, I mean, I studied abroad and stuff. So I lived in Europe for a while as well. But in the United States, never lived anywhere else but Ohio.
Cool.
So, yeah.
West Coast, best coast.
It is.
You started? No.
I think I was meant to be a Cali girl, and it just didn't work out. Even down to the music. I love like West Coast music artists for some reason. I think I'm meant to be like on the West Coast. I don't know if it's meant to be Vegas or California, but I have been thinking about Vegas for the last 3 days, so I don't know.
Hello.
Hey, you'll know somebody, so that'll work.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, it's a nice place. It's a nice place to live for sure.
You don't have to get focused on the strip. It's nice.
Yeah, no. There's so many other things here besides the strip. Like some people are like, oh, you can only go to Vegas for like 3 days. But if you actually know what's in Vegas, like you could be here for like 2 months and not run out of stuff to do.
Oh yeah, I bet.
You just need a local to show you around.
I mean,
For
that's
real. That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
It is the best ticket. It really is. Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight.
This is great.
You.